It's Healthy Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Veronica Danik-Boy. As usual, I have my beautiful, lovely co-hosts here with me. Hello, ladies. Good morning.
Veronica.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you, YK.
Thank you
We
very
missed
much.
you last
Good to see
week.
you. Yes. You know, I'm trying to spend as much time with my daughter and my grandson. You know, they leave soon, and so every time I'm out of the house, it takes me away from them. So. And I know I'm really going to miss them when they go, so I try and stay home as much as possible. That's it. And I took them out last week as well. So I'm just being a grandmother.
You're missing them already. It's obvious.
Yes, so I'm already missing. I mean, but I must congratulate my younger brother, even though he lost the Grammys. Being a nominee is still, my other brother has been nominated 4 times already. So, and each one he didn't collect. But they give you a medal.
For being nominated.
For nomination, so he'll probably get a medal. So they give you a medal for the nomination. So just to show that Grammy nomination is just as important.
Yes, it is. As any nomination, actually. He was supposed to perform.
Yeah, he was on the online thing. He missed his flight or something.
Yeah, he said
he
it
was
a mix.
telling me about it this morning.
But it's a big deal.
Of course it is.
In Nigeria, we don't even listen to these songs like we should, but it's quality music and it's being recognized globally. So congratulations, Sheil Kuti.
There was a video on Instagram of one of my brother's tunes and some dancers dancing to it, and it was about democracy. And I was watching, I was so... I had to comment, and I was just lucky that someone just tagged me. That's how I managed to.
You know, it's said that a prophet is not respected in his hometown. That I guess, but it shouldn't be. We should, you know. Anyway, Tokwe, good to see you.
The same with my father. Before he died, nobody wanted to listen to him. When he died, now
He became a prophet.
Anyway, Tokwe.
I'm good. I had a very interesting weekend. I went to speak at a church. It was a Redeemed Christian Church of God event for young people, and the church was full. It was towards the Valentine, so it was called Power of Love. It was supposed to be, I thought I was going to do an interactive session. Then I saw the program of event when I got there, and I saw keynotes. Tokwe Makodige. I sat down and said, "Hey, Father,
you have the gift of speaking.
You know, but speaking is a skill. You know, you can talk very well, but when you are when it comes to speaking properly, it must be a skill. You must learn it. So I try to always prepare. But in the church, the beauty of church is that whenever I'm called to speak in the church, I just say, Holy Spirit, take over. Anyhow, it will go. And then the feedback was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
if the Holy Spirit had taken over in another way, because
Because
In which way?
did you see that one? I sent one video where the
No, that one.
the man just gave him boost. I say, I sent the video now, you didn't see.
I saw it. We need to have more events that engage young people in the Christian way, you know, because they had questions that were. BC, talk about your events.
That they will not
please.
let them ask. Because
No, but
it's
they
church,
asked.
so
They
everybody,
asked.
because it's this kind of program. So me, I have an issue that has been bothering me.
Because you know, shorten this issue
I'm
because
going to shorten it.
we are
My
running out
leg
of
has
time.
been peeling. My feet, seriously, like it happens to me seasonally. It's as if I'm renewing my skin, like I come from the snake family or something. I don't understand. Yes, it was terrible. So yesterday, after the show, I went to the spa. You know, spent money just so that it won't look like you don't take care of yourself as a young girl. So spent money. At the end of the day, the thing didn't go. It was still there. I still see, like,
I think it's genetical.
Even my hands,
I think it's genetical.
But I think the older you get, because I haven't had it for over like maybe 8.
I think it's genetic because
years.
it's not happening.
Never
Take
had
a
it.
look at my hands.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I
the
can
same
imagine.
thing. And it's embarrassing. I don't like
It's
it.
not embarrassing. You're
it's
just
part of-
getting new skin.
Yeah,
Obviously,
exactly.
you know, renewing your
I
skin. You
won't
know.
get old fast. Is that what you're
Yeah.
Tell us, why were you late today?
Traffic, there was traffic, and I needed to just have a little rest and before coming to work. But then we're here now. Anyway, the show has to go
And they're
on.
looking beautiful as usual.
Thank you, Dupe. I know her head is
You know
swelling.
she doesn't need makeup, this girl.
She's so fine.
I saw her today without makeup. She doesn't really need it.
Anyway, when we return, Front Page Reviews starts. Stay with us. All right, let's head to the newspapers this morning. A major headline: violence mars Buhari's Ogun rally. Crowd throws missiles at Oshomole. Boos Tinubu. Please don't disgrace me before Buhari. Amosun begs party members. Vote for candidates of your choice on March the 2nd, Buhari tells Ogun residents. Tension as hoodlums murder NURTW branch treasurer in Lagos. Navy seizes 46 illegal vessels, arrests 240 suspects. Buhari campaign organization accuses U.S. other envoys of supporting Atiku. Tributes as ex-NFF Secretary Taiwo Gunjobi dies. Minimum wage workers lobby senators to approve 30,000 naira. Excuse me. Buhari's suspension of CJN violates human rights standards. UN rapporteur. NJC issues fresh query to Onogen. Perpetrators of violence will be prosecuted, says Buhari. 42 parties list conditions for signing fresh peace pact. Clinton cancels visit to Nigeria. So who has what story here?
Can we check the headlines first?
Okay.
Before the human interest. Okay, check the human interest.
Take the human interest because we have that story.
Okay, I have it.
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, the human interest. You know, the human interest is
Yeah,
there,
so
but
the NUWRT.
the NUWRT is the one, well, it's just this guy, Ashekun. He's the treasurer of the NURT.
Chapter.
The NURT, that's Ikorodu chapter.
Yeah.
4 hoodlums went to the area where he was, and the residents in the area, one taxi driver that was in his wife's shop, my girlfriend's shop, said he saw the 4 guys. They came off an Okada and they were wandering around. Then as soon as Ashekun showed up, they just shot him. They first beat him, then
They
shot him.
knew his routine and they were expecting him.
But what they suspect is that someone had called from an unknown number to find out his whereabouts so that the boys would know where he was.
Oh, God.
And they killed him.
And took a bike and fled.
Yeah, but they said one of them stayed and was just walking around confidently.
Really?
And
Yeah. He wasn't scared, and people were afraid to.
And people were afraid to,
ask him.
But
They
the
don't want to get killed.
vigilante group were saying that the people in the area should have alerted them when they saw the 4 guys come down from the Okada and start wondering about that. If they had been alerted, they might have prevented the guy's death.
All right, quickly to the major headline
There's
story.
another human interest story.
Oh, you want to take
Human interest. Like headline.
Calm down, calm down. It's on all of the
Yes, it's on all of the
papers.
papers, so we can
Calm
take it on.
down.
So the Nigerian Navy is saying that they have seized 46 vessels for various infractions on the Nigerian waters. They've also seized 25,000 bags of foreign rice. And they've arrested 173 smugglers. That they will keep doing this to make sure that at least our economy does not go to the ground, since these smugglers are hell-bent on, smuggling in rice and carrying out all those atrocities on the waters. So they will keep doing that to ensure. So it's just, they were listing out everything that they've done since 2018.
I wanted to be sure that they've
now.
all taken the story so I can take the headline. Now, because yesterday the campaign at Abeokuta, Ogun State campaign by the APC was abruptly suspended because around 3 p.m. when the presidents came in, they called up the chairman of the party, Adam Oshomole, to the stage to address the audience, and they started stoning him.
Wait, before they called him up, the governor had spoken, and the governor had said, please vote for Buhari, but my own candidate.
For
now, Aregbesola now gets up and says, don't listen to hypocrites. So,
okay.
So there's been a crisis on
so
ground.
they started to stone Aregbesola. Now we are continue from there.
So
Let's go. We need to manage time, ladies. So we'll
this kind of important story.
We'll talk about it. I told you it's on all of the newspapers.
Okay.
So let's just, because we are on, we have like 3 minutes more, so we need to manage as much time as we can. Let's quickly move to The Nation now. Major headline: APC to U.S. envoy Buhari will win without regain. Party's campaign council kicks against threats. Polls tip president for victory. Nigeria votes. All the facts and figures about election 2019. Buhari leads Berlin Wall must fall mission to Kwara. Rivers APC knows fate today as legal battle peaks. Supreme Court strikes out appeals on Ogun PDP crisis. Alleged 544.1 million naira contracts. EFCC holds ex-SGF Lawal. NJC gives Onogen 7 days to defend himself. Expectant mom kids die in fire. TCN hits 5,375 megawatts peak. Article claims restructuring. Ex-NFF chief Ogunjobi dies. And we have pictures of the campaign in Ogun State yesterday. So who has the story?
The
Yes,
expectant
the
mother who
expectant
died in a
mom.
fire. This happened in Niger State, and she was expecting 6 months. You know, she was 6 months gone in pregnancy, and she had 2 kids. Then fire broke out because of upsurge in electricity. And they couldn't even say when the fire started, but at the end of the day, the building was razed down. Some neighbors were able to get out of the building, but they were unable to save her. Somebody said probably she was sleeping at the time, so she was burnt and everything. The governor had gone to see them, and though that's not the first time it's happening, the electricity there keeps having that upsurge. Yes, and people die. So the governor has promised to give 1 million naira each to the victims, and they are going to look into it.
That doesn't quantify for the life.
I think we should sue
victims or the alive ones.
The ones that are alive to collect the money.
Okay.
I think we should, if we prosecute cases, this kind of cases, you take it to the disco, you take them to court, because somebody needs to be responsible for those upsurge.
For the power, okay.
Yes. But I want to talk about the presidency. So the APC Presidential Campaign Council have accused the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Stuart Simonton, of making statements that is going to compromise our election. That what do they mean by every statement he's making is not putting the people's faith in the fact that the election will be free and fair. That the election should, the U.S. should be neutral. Any statement they should say should be to support democracy within the state. And he also mentioned that the presidency would win can win the election without rigging, that they shouldn't make it look like if he wins it's...
And they should also know their boundaries. We are a sovereign state.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's quickly move to the Daily Sun. Major headline, fresh trouble for CGN Onoge. NJC issues him fresh query to unveil final decision tomorrow. Judicial independence under threat, says UN. And angry crowd haul missiles at Oshomole APC candidate in Ogun. Security aides shield Buhari from attack. Rivers people promise Atiku massive votes. Buhari must go, PDP candidate. EFCC arraigns ex-SGF Babachir Lawal today. Court sacks Cross River APC Goba candidate and others. Does INEC to recognize Usani's faction? Will mobilize Ndigbo for 2019 election, says Masob. 2019 Nigeria votes 4 days to February the 16th. 42 political parties give conditions for a fresh peace accord. Again, federal government warns U.S. on elections. Buhari campaign team blasts envoy. I guess that story you took earlier. And then we move to the Nigerian Tribune. Security aides shoot Buhari as missiles rain at Ogun APC rally. Oshomole other leaders booed, stoned. It's a sign of rejection. PDP, that's the major story here. Clinton cancels trip to Nigeria. APC wants U.S. ambassador overcoming, says Nigeria not a colony. INEC to track campaign finance, inaugurates monitoring group. And we have what other story here? Supreme Court gives judgment on Rivers APC today. NJC gets fresh petition against Onoge, gives him 7 days to respond. NFF shooting stars orders Mon Taiwo Ogunjobi. This
so
story
Clinton, the president, the former president of the U.S., Clinton, was supposed to come into Abuja, I think today, and he's cancelled, saying that his coming will be seen as political, and he's trying as much as possible to be neutral. So he's going to put a call through to the PDP presidential candidates and the APC presidential candidates, just to, you know, reaffirm the free and fair elections everybody's talking about.
Before we run out, our president, giving a statement in Southern Kaduna meeting, said that he's not an apostle of bloodshed, and that anybody financing election violence will be dealt with, and that he doesn't want anybody to, ahead of the Saturday election, there should be no violence. People should cast their vote and go.
They should start with the Ogun State violence yesterday.
Exactly.
They should prosecute those people because they know them.
Okay, I hope that is sorted out well. Next on Hot Topic, we ask when and where do we cross the line of objectifying or sexualizing our children? Stay with us. We will be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, on-air personality, comedian and actor Omotunde Adebowale David, popularly known as Official Lolo, recently took to her Instagram page and posted a video of a young girl who visibly wasn't 10 years old yet, struggling seductively on a fashion runway. According to her, how much should we allow our children do? What is the definition of cute and sexy? Join the conversation on 0708066814. Tweet to us at TVC Connect with the hashtag YourViewTVC. Now, that is exposing your child. How much of exposure would you give your child, Obi? Let's start with you.
Okay, so against me,
yes.
now.
Fire.
So I think that for me, first of all, overly exposing a child.
What will you call overly exposing?
Like showing off the tummy, wearing all those shorts for a girl child is not so healthy for the child, especially because of our society today. All those evil perpetrators are always looking for opportunities to say somebody did something, and that's why we decided to go in and rape and all of that. So it's safer if you properly clothe your children, like cover them up properly. Their privates are properly hidden. But when it comes to runway, I know for a fact that when you go to learn from a fashion school, a modeling school, which I did, that was the first entertainment I started with in my career. And we're taught how to walk the runway, but not with all those extra ajasa. Like I saw the video of the girl. So that could be what she decided to add, probably because of what she's been exposed to. And then they cheered her on, like, whoa, whoa, you can go. And then she's, I saw it and I was like, wow.
Allow your child strut the runway like that?
Hold on, let me finish. So now that she's done that, if you call her aside and say, okay, this kind of walk and all of that is not for your age, it's sexy and it's not for you, it will be passing a different kind of message to the child. Because the way children are, they are innocent in everything they do, mostly. And so when you now start preaching another message that you are not supposed to, because this is more for an adult, she gets confused. Remember that I have seen kids who talk with an attitude of, when they are growing up, I have 2 girls, and they all started like that, but they leave it over time. So when I say, don't do that when you're talking, and don't do that when you're talking, I'm beginning to confuse them, like, okay, is it wrong? And you might make that child shy. So for the fact that she did that on the wrong way and she was cheered, I think we should just let it go.
So would you allow your daughter, answer the question now, would you allow your daughter?
If my daughter decides to model and do a runway and decide to add that ajasa, I'm okay.
Fine.
So for me, I think that we have rid childhood of the innocence it should have. The society has given too many information released to a child where they are not capable of processing it. So without being able to process it, they are just left to whatever interpretation people around them give what they've done. So for me, people always accuse my kids of not knowing how to dance and all of that. And I say, my kids are kids, they are playing. What you call shaku shaku, they are jumping around is dance to them and they are having fun. I am not going to conscientize my child into one line. Let a child be a child. That girl isn't being a child. That girl is mimicking the things she's seen, which will in turn make her appear mature before she should be.
Really?
So, yes. And at the end of the day, I see a lot of people think that it's normal. No, whatever's there, let my child be sexy. She can wear bomb shorts. She can wear kiniko. I feel that we are excessively exposing children to what they cannot handle.
So how do you nurture your child's gift?
So for me, I feel that children are exposed to, you can have an artistic child. You can have a child that has preference for music and likes all those things, but you must let the child understand. I don't believe that there should be no definition. I feel you can define to a child what is sexy and what is not sexy, and how sexy is being perceived in the society, and the risk attached to sexy. So that for any reason they hear it in future, they don't see it as a compliment. When somebody says they're sexy, we say it as it can be both complimentary and it can be negative. So let your child understand where you stand concerning it. Don't let them be just continue and then because you walk. Oh, you're sexy. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. The next thing, somebody now comes and rub your back or rub your head or rub something. Define it for the child. I don't have a girl child. But if I do have a girl child, things like
You're planning to have more?
Definitely, that's what she's saying. She wants to have more.
My mom is still praying.
She wants to have more.
Things like fixing weave on children. You know what? We over-sexualize children. They fix weave on. A small girl doing makeup. I don't agree with it.
What has fixing weave on got to do with sexuality?
It is exposing a child to adulthood before they are ripe to handle the responsibilities of adulthood.
But they braid their hair. But they braid their hair with attachments.
No. Not even attachments. My own daughter
you want her to carry natural hair.
Exactly.
I hear you.
You say 18th century.
That 18th century has saved us.
There's a way you
That is not 18th century, but that's not our hot topic, because I wanted to tell you that the braids will actually make your children's hair fall out. That's why you see a lot of children with no hair from. But since it's not our hot topic, let's not even go there.
Oh yeah, let's
sexualizing.
Well, I am really on Tokwe's page, kind of, because I think that overexposing a child to sensuality, not sexuality, but sensuality, is making that child lose its innocence as a child.
Thank you.
You have all your life to be sensual, to be sexual, to be whatever.
Right time.
Let the child be a child and then be a teenager when it gets to teenage years,
exactly.
and then an adult when it gets...
Exactly.
Hang on.
All right.
Wait.
Okay.
You have a grown-up daughter who is married now.
Yeah.
How were you able to shield her from all of this? You know, looking at the environment she grew up and, you know, the family she grew up in. How were you able to shield her from all of these things?
I think it's just a natural process. If you want to protect your child, you will not expose your child to what will corrupt its brain.
I disagree, because I know that some of the kids, while I was growing up, I had children who were being exposed to certain things. They knew what was, and they knew it wasn't time. They knew it wasn't time. They knew what was happening. They knew everything, and they knew it wasn't time. So they made their decision to stay till it was time. And I had children who were overly protected. I was closed up, really protected, who, when I saw the freedom I saw, I nearly lost it. Because I wasn't given the options. I wasn't shown, okay, this is what is happening, but follow this way for now, at least.
There has to be a balance.
So now as an entertainer, that girl is probably a model who is taking up that profession. So she is in that entertainment line. I'm not talking about normal kids. If my child decides to, or if the father, as a normal kid who are just going to school and all of that, she has gone into entertainment. It's like having a child actor and a child singer, you know.
We see what happens to them.
They are said what happens to them. What really happens to them.
Let's quickly take this call. We have a caller on the line. Welcome to the show. Go ahead with your contribution. Hello, are you there?
I'm still here.
Good morning. Welcome.
Morning.
Morning.
Yes, go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, good morning, every one of you there. I say good morning, everyone there.
Good morning.
Quite an interesting topic.
We can hear you. Thank you.
Now, I heard Yemi just say something just a minute ago. Yemi said that if you wear weave on for your daughter, that you are actually, that the hair will be falling off. That's correct. Why don't we just look? I have 3 kids. I have 2 girls and a boy.
Okay.
I have 2 girls and a boy. And when I was growing up, I had to go for training with regards to children.
Okay.
And one thing I learned about children is that they have stages in their lives. Between 2 and 5, 0 to 5, they call them terrible 2, terrible 3, terrible 4, terrible 5. And the reason why they call them that name is because at that time they want to have control.
Yes.
When you try to control them, when they ask for something and you don't give them, they go on crying.
All right.
And when you try to stop them, they continue. Okay, back, just take it. At that point in time, they're already
don't have time.
telling you, I am in control.
All right, we'll need you to quickly make your point so that because we're running out of time, please. Are you there? All right.
Oh,
he's
so
down.
sorry.
Can I just,
sorry.
I just wanted to answer Obiajulu.
Yeah.
I am not saying that I overprotected my child. I did not. My child, she was allowed to go on the computer. She was allowed to, but there is discipline and there is overindulgence.
What would you have said in this case of the child who was trotting on the wrong way? So as a parent,
I would not
Allow your daughter.
want my, not even allow, I would not want my child.
Okay.
Because my
To
child, she
model.
was, excuse me, not model. My daughter was a queen in inter-house sports. She was a queen. And, you know, but she was not doing.
Exactly.
Okay. This
one is
Because,
actually
because
there are
this one-
negative.
no.
We must not hide the fact
Don't-
that there are negative
Let's-
effects to
okay.
sexualizing
Ladies,
our
we
children.
have run out of time. We have run out of time.
Obiajulu,
Ma?
there is a difference between artistic and sensual or sexual.
sexualizing.
Don't make the two.
sexualize your
I didn't see
Can
anything
you-
sexual in what she was doing. She was just walking
Anyway,
and having
ladies,
attitude.
we have run out
That's how I
of
see
time.
it.
Sorry.
We have run out of
Vex.
But we must learn to nurture the gifts of our kids.
Thank you.
And we must learn to draw the line. Let's have
Yes.
conversations with our children. Let's tell them what they need to know. Next, we discuss bleaching among Nigerians. Stay with us. We will be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thank you for staying with us. Whitening the skin has become a popular thing among women, and even some men, regardless of their age or ethnicity, all want an even clear and radiant skin. According to the World Health Organization, that's WHO, 77% of women in Nigeria use skin lightening products,
77.
which is the world's largest percentage. Why are Nigerians so obsessed with this skin lightening?
Bagang.
Well, joining us on the show is a public health physician and the founder Beauty in Black, Chidinma Gab Okafor. Welcome to the show.
You're not black.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you. Yes, I love that question. That's the usual question that is being thrown at me each time. You are championing this cause, but you're not even fair. And I usually tell them
not
my
fair?
story.
You're not
I'm
fair, but
sorry.
you're not dark.
I'm
You're
not
not
dark.
dark.
Sorry.
Let's know our
And
people.
I usually tell them the story of two friends I met online, Lindsay and Lexi. They are
Right,
white
before you
ladies.
continue with the story, let's quickly
Okay.
tell our viewers that they can join the conversation on 0708066814. They can tweet to us at TVC Connect with the hashtag YourViewTVC. Now go ahead with your story.
Okay, so I met these friends. They are twins, Lindsay and Lexi. They're American. They are really white. So I connected with them. They have this non-profit called Beauty_Redefined. So there was a program I wanted to do then, and it was still on skin bleaching. And I was so glad to bring them on set. You know why I brought up this issue? About me being fair, championing this cause.
Okay.
Imagine white ladies talking to the blacks about skin bleaching.
Egbe.
The impact was phenomenal.
Please don't say bleaching. Now we don't do bleaching anymore. We do toning.
Now,
We'll talk about it too. We'll talk
okay,
about it too.
But let's quickly, because that's the issue now, that people talk about bleaching, toning, that there is no difference. But is there a difference between bleaching and toning, or is just the use of language? Is it supposed to be skin lightening or evening? What exactly is the difference?
I'll say it's all semantics, but before I start that, let me just define what skin bleaching is, or skin lightening. It's simply the use of substances, it could be mixtures, it could be some physical treatment to lighten the skin that is shade, higher than what it was before. That's making the skin lighter than what it is. There are so many other terms. In the past, it used to be so harsh. The words like skin bleaching were being used to describe that term. But now, we've gone a step higher. We call it skin lightening. And then as well, we know that the real definition of toning actually is tightening the pores of the skin.
Yeah.
But we know that what is universally acceptable as toning is lightening the skin. But it's a milder form of the term skin lightening. Then the extreme form is called skin whitening.
Yes, whitening.
So these are the four terms.
Yeah, I have this quick question.
Okay.
Michael Jackson had vitiligo.
All right.
Yes.
Now, if you have seen someone with vitiligo, their skin actually goes white.
Yes.
And there is no cure. Well, the cure, they say there is a cure, but not many people have discovered.
Okay.
Though my daughter, she used to have it, she cured it He thought that the solution to that vitiligo was to whiten his skin to be the same tone as the vitiligo, which is why he said he wore gloves in those days. Very believable, because I've seen people with vitiligo, and you know it can be very
uncomfortable.
Because it's not painful or anything, but it's might make you lose your confidence. If you're not very
self-esteem.
Your self-esteem. Thank you. That's the right word. What would you say about people who lighten their skin with that condition?
Okay, vitiligo is simply an autoimmune disorder. What it means is a situation whereby your immunity doesn't recognize your own cells and begin to attack it. So that was what Michael Jackson actually had. We know historically Michael Jackson had always had issues with self-esteem. So having vitiligo also worsened a pre-existing condition, you understand? Now, at that time, he felt that the only remedy was to whiten the skin. And then as a young pop star who was just coming up, he was quite talented, but he still did not believe in himself because he believed that the white people have much more advantage than. So it was actually a platform for him to actually achieve that which he had always desired.
Because he kept changing his nose.
Exactly.
Remember? But my own now is, I have gone through life being, will I use the word victimized as a dark person? Let me just start with that word. Maybe the right word will come.
You are pretty.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you. I start from I know, then thank you. So I went through different beauty pageants in the course of my life. And at the end of the day, the fair girls always win. And they come in the morning, they are thanking everybody. Thanks for coming, thanks for coming. They don't look at you like, were you at the competition? That means they did not even see you that night, because in the night, the fair ones glitter. So I went through school too, and I knew that the fair girls were more attractive, that people wanted to, she's beautiful, she's fine because of the color. Even when you look at them properly and the nose is somehow flat and, you know, something like that. But they had more attention. Then I met a lot of people in the course of my, you know, having interactions with married people in counseling. And I realized that a lot of men, Nigerian men, loved fair ladies compared to dark ladies.
Love.
Yes.
Still love.
Yes.
It's not past tense.
Okay, like 99%. And then it puts a lot of pressure on people with a dark skin. That pressure didn't get to me. I was still forming and beautiful and strong till I had my third baby, and then I got very dark due to the pregnancy. And at the end of the day, a friend just recommended to me, you've got your shape back, but you've not got that your shine, and recommended a soap for me. And I started with the soap. I was getting lighter, I was feeling good. Then I entered the cream, and I entered the oil. See, my mother came back from the US. I said, Bisi, you are a dark girl. To go and throw away that nonsense. So I didn't know that I had gotten to that point where I felt better with the lighter skin. Confidence. So who do we blame for what is really happening? Because a lot of people are spending so much in that industry.
The billion-dollar industry.
I'm telling you.
In fact, let me just start by saying that you are beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Honestly.
Thank you.
And I'll be glad to plead with you to become an ambassador of the foundation, because we want people who are really very proud of their color. This is part of what actually fuels that act called skin bleaching. The media, the excessive glorification of the white color. We know that things that had to do with skin bleaching, is that skin lightening, let me use a milder term, has a lot to do with historical, the fact that we were colonized in the olden days by the white people, and the black people were mainly used as slaves, while the white ones are the ones who occupied the white collar jobs and so on. Then it has also what I'll call psychosocial history as well. Then we also have the economic impact of this thing. So the point I'm trying to make is, we have always been told that the white is right and the white is better. The fairer you are, the merrier. So, and this thing has also been promoted by the media industry. We know that they use the fair people most of the time, talk about the pageant, the beauty pageantry and so on. If you're dark, you may not be used. And then there's also a term called workplace colorism. I'm sure you also heard of the one that went agog in the social media as well, where someone brought up an advert for those who are seeking for a job, and then said that being fair is an added advantage. So these are actually things that we also know that skin bleaching has a lot to do with self-insufficiency. So you can imagine now telling someone who is dark that she doesn't stand a place in any workforce. She doesn't stand a place when it comes to marriage and otherwise. But here we're just talking about women. It's even getting worse among men. And then we're not just talking about men. Children have also been adopted into this practice by children. On Sunday, I read an article by Vienne Odessa. I'm not sure if I called her name quite well. She wrote about the story of parents who lighten their children.
Yeah.
Yes, it's there. Honestly,
them.
I'm surprised that at this point I've not been slapped by a parent. Because yes, I see them every now and then. I pull them by the side and ask them. Because the truth is that this is a practice that is fueled by ignorance. They don't know what they are doing.
Please, that's the part I know we'll take a break soon. We need to deal with the consequences
of bleaching the skin. Well, we'll talk about that when we return from this break. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. We're still talking skin, the bleaching or toning. Tope, you had a question for our guest.
I believe life is about cause and effect. For everything, there is an effect. So apparently, lighter people are more attractive. That's the effect of being light, and so most people gravitate towards the lightness to be more attractive. However, there is a side effect to the bleaching and the toning. And those side effects, people don't know about it enough for them to understand why they shouldn't do it. Can you help us break down the side effects?
With statistics.
The side effects of bleaching in young children, the side effects of bleaching for pregnant women, because I've seen pregnant women who feel that, well, I'm pregnant, my skin is getting dark. Let me use something to lighten up, as opposed to wait till I'm done with pregnancy. So in children, in pregnant women, and in adults generally.
Okay. Thank you for that question. I'll start by saying that highlighting the ingredients in these cosmetic soups or whatever.
Okay,
that
before you go ahead, we have a caller on the line, in Barakat from Ajak. Quickly go ahead with your contribution.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, I have a question for Gajulu. Those people you are competing with, were they naturally light or they bleach? Because bleaching can never add to the beauty. It rather spoils the skin. So people that are not naturally lighting is different from people that bleach. Bleaching cannot add to the beauty.
Thank you, Barakat. Thank you.
Before you answer that question, I need to read this tweet because I want you to add it to your
answers.
Yeah. Okay. It's from Kemi Olulonyo. She says bleaching and toning are different from whitening. Whitening uses fruit acids that are safe. Bleaching is usually with hydrochlorine or steroid creams, which is now discouraged as they thin out the epidermis outer skin layer. I am brown skin and whiten yearly. So please add that to your answer.
Okay. If I can recall clearly well what the person who asked the question was, she was saying that does bleaching actually add to the beauty, right? Of course it doesn't. It doesn't. We all need to understand ourselves.
It makes you more attractive.
Attractive, that shine.
Let her finish because
I will say it doesn't make you more attractive. What is attraction? You could be. Oh, let me tell you. I believe that who you are and how you are is your own perception. If you're well, what is even ugly? Nobody was made to be ugly in the first place. Do you understand? Nobody.
Yes. So please, let's go back because we need that details for people to really understand.
All right. So let me continue from where we were before. There are in the ingredients that actually in this cosmetics that can cause this side effects. One, we have hydroquinone, we have the corticosteroids, and then we have the mercurial ones. There are so many of them too, because even now we also have heard that the organic market has also been adulterated by, yes, we have things like whitening glycerin. They're available there too. But anyway, that's by the way. Let me concentrate on this. So the effect can be one acute, the effect can also be chronic. When we talk about effect, I'm talking about the immediate effect that you can get from this. And this will come in form of all forms of skin disfigurements, immediate rashes, exposure under the sun, reddening, and so on. But then when we talk about chronic use, we're talking about those who have used it for a longer period of time. We're talking about years. And then we're not just talking about years. We know that those who actually indulge in this term don't use it once a day. It is used repeatedly, sometimes 3 to 4 times every day, so the body keeps absorbing this thing. So we are talking about things like skin cancer. In fact, it's been reported that it's just a matter of time before we have an epidemic of skin cancers all over. It's already there. It's already there. It's already there. Then we have the blood cancers, yes. We have the kidney cancers. We have the liver cancers and failures, because the truth is that the liver is actually what detoxifies these chemicals that we take into our body.
Because it penetrates.
So it does penetrate. I will tell you that the way God made the skin, He made it in such a way that the skin has the largest surface area of the body. And 60% of what we put on the skin is exactly goes into the body. And then when you eat, it passes through the liver but when you put on the skin, it goes directly into the blood system.
So there are dangers for a pregnant woman.
Certainly. You know, she asked the question. I'll get to that. So that's it. Then we have the blood cancers, we have the liver cancers, the kidney cancers, and so many other ones. Then we have infertility. Yes, they can make a woman not to be able to deliver. Yes, it does. Then we have, a journey that you set out to look beautiful, and then you look at yourself, you start having all sorts of disfigurements. So what does it lead to? Depression, lack of sleep. They are never happy. Because of it, they are perpetually on that journey to get that shade of skin they want to acquire. So these are some of the side effects. Then we also have a term called peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy is, I know in Yoruba they call it baja. Oh. It's numbness, tingling, it can also cause it. And then there are so many other things, so many uncountable things.
Could you just narrow it down, because we are running out of time. So pregnant women.
Then for the
That's different.
How does it affect the children?
Then for the pregnant woman, a woman who is pregnant and uses this thing, it passes into the bloodstream and can pass through the placenta down to the baby. Children are born these days with chemicals. Research has been able to prove it. Have been born with chemicals too. Children are born with chemicals this year. And then the sad part of it is that if you tell a mother who is just pregnant with a child that years down the line, this child may stand the risk of developing cancer from what she's doing, because cancer is multifactorial, but then she has that exposure already. Then you add to so many other exposures you can't even control, in addition to the fact that there may be a family history of breast cancer or anything in the family. You can't control it, but they don't know. Quickly. Then for children, for children it can contribute, yes, learning disability. Wow. Learning disability, yes. Research has also been able to prove that. Then we have endocrine disruption. Our children these days, we know the girls, before the age of 8 years, what happens? They develop breast and so on. And we say these children are maturing very fast.
Now, it's obvious there's a long list of side effects. But quickly, can skin bleaching be reversed? For those who have heard all of this and believe that, I need to drop this.
Don't try it. You want to stop.
Can it be reversed? Is it possible?
It can be reversed. It can, I believe, but it's a multidisciplinary thing. The doctor alone cannot do it. We need the schools, we need the communities, we need the faith-based organizations, we need the civil organizations.
No, she's talking about somebody that has
as a person.
Let's say Obiajulu starts bleaching now.
We have run out of time. Is it possible?
Okay. Oh, yeah, sure, certainly. It starts with stopping the acts first. But I will tell you, it's usually a long journey. You need to plead to the psychology of that person in the first place, but it's doable.
All right, we'll have to end on that note. Thank you so much for enlightening us this morning.
So much to talk about.
So much to talk about, but we have little time. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. It was a great show this morning. And thank you, our viewers. Valentine's Day is on Thursday, the 14th of February, 2019. That's next tomorrow. In lieu of this, we would shift our Wednesday live audience show to Thursday, and it promises to be an interesting show. One of the major highlights would be the couples game show. So if you are interested in being part of a couples show, please come to the studio between the hours of 12 and 2 from now till Wednesday. We can only take 2 couples. We hope you enjoyed the show today. Have a fabulous day.